Dear friends, we gather together this morning in sorrow, without words capable of holding all the grief that we are all feeling. One who is so dear to us and to many beyond our community, John LaPlante, died yesterday as a result of the virus that is bringing the world to its knees. I have been so moved by the many expressions of love and loss from far and wide, people who have known John and known what a pillar of this community he and Linda are. There will be a time for us to gather and hold a fitting celebration of his remarkable life. For this moment, all we can do is gather in the loving spirit of this community which John cherished so much. John's wife, Linda, and his daughter, Leslie, and her family are grateful for your kindness and support. They know that you are with them. We thought about how we might change this service to reflect this terrible loss, but I realized that each element could be dedicated to John in honor of the song and the light that emanated far and wide from his huge heart, knowing this is the best we can do in this impossible time. And so we carry on with our grief, and as John often did, singing, speaking, and laughing through our tears. Whether the Unitarian Church of Evanston is your spiritual home or you are seeking comfort and connection in uncertain times, we are so grateful that you are with us. We are an inclusive and welcoming community seeking truth in love and striving to nurture the human spirit for a world made whole. We are guided by our principles and values, which remind us in every moment and through every challenge that each of us matters and that we are all connected through the vast and beautiful web of existence. Together, let us remember our oneness, our kinship with one another, and may we hold one another in heart and mind with tenderness and careful attention. There are many links of connection in the comments below, and we invite you at the beginning of this service to enter your concerns and gratitudes, joys and sorrows there, which we will read later in the service. If possible, title them in all caps so we can distinguish these from general comments. And now I invite you to get your chalices ready if you haven't already. Set a place for yourself and your family in your homes as we join in beloved community.
This reading from John O'Donohue, Blessing of a Threshold. Now is a time of invitation. Crossing a frontier you did not expect, abruptly your old life seems distant. You barely noticed how each day opened a path through fields never expected. You never questioned that they would hold treasure deep down. Now the question looms larger than all that is known, and what was expected has slept out of sight. As you pause on this threshold of teetering uncertainty, may grace come to restore you to balance. May it shape a new space in your heart to embrace change as a teacher who has come to open your life to new worlds. May you find in yourself a courageous hospitality towards what is difficult, painful, unknown. May you learn to use this change as a lantern to illuminate the new qualities that will emerge in you. May the fragile harvesting of this slow light help to release whatever has become false in you. May you trust this light to clear a path through all the fog of old unease and anxiety until you feel arise within you a tranquility profound enough to call the storm to stillness.
Please join me now in these words for the lighting of our virtual chalice that joins us all, as well as your individual chalices in your home altars. For the gift of this day and for our community of spiritual nurture and compassion, we give thanks. We light this chalice as a symbol of our faith. May our many sparks meet and merge in communion of heart and soul. And now, join in the words of our covenant, so meaningful this morning as we celebrate the loving spirit of John LaPlante. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Now let us join in the singing of This Little Light of Mine, I'm Gonna Let It Shine.
During this time when we are being asked to stay home, my hope is that we go on listening walks more. And while this story is about listening with our ears, it is more about paying attention to the little things that normally would go unnoticed. We listen in different ways, with our ears, with our head, with our heart, and through our touch. So let's go on a listening walk together now. I like to take walks. I take walks with my father and our dog. Our dog is called Major. He is an old dog and he does not walk very fast. We go down the street and we do not talk. My father puts his hands in his pockets and thinks. Major walks ahead and sniffs. I keep still and listen. I call this a listening walk. On a listening walk, I do not talk. I listen to all the different sounds. I hear many different sounds when I do not talk. First, I hear Major's toenails on the sidewalk. Major has long toenails. When he walks, his toenails scratch the sidewalk. Twick! They go twick, twick, twick. I hear my father's shoes on the sidewalk. My father walks slowly, and his shoes go tuck toop, tuck toop. I can't hear my shoes. I wear sneakers. I hear all sorts of sounds on a listening walk. I listen to sounds I've never listened to before. I listen to lawnmowers. Lawnmowers are noisy. A lawnmower makes a steady, zooming noise. It goes like this. Zoom. I like to listen to lawn sprinklers. Lawn sprinklers are very quiet. They make different sounds. Some sprinklers make a steady whispering sound, like this. Other sprinklers turn around and around. They go like this. On a listening walk, I hear cars in the street. The shiny new cars are quiet. They only make a soft but old cars are very noisy. Old cars sound like this. Bracka, 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 bracka. When cars go around the corner too fast, the tires go whirr. And when cars stop quickly, the brakes go ee. On a listening walk, I hear all kinds of sounds. A bicycle bell ringing, tring, tring. A baby crying, wah, a wah, a wah, a wah. A jet flies over. Jets are very noisy when they're overhead. A jet goes, ew. A boy runs by dribbling his basketball. Bump, 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 bump. A lady hurries by us. She is wearing high heels. The lady's high heels go, bick buck, bick buck, bick buck. A bus is coming. The lady starts to run. Bick, 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 bick. The bus stops at the corner. The lady gets on. The bus starts up again. Around the corner, men are digging up the street. They're using a jackhammer. It makes a loud banging sound. Deck, 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 deck. The jackhammer hurts my ears. I put my hand in my ears. We walk by. Deck, 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 deck. Sometimes my father and I take Major to the park. It is quiet there. The sounds in the park are not loud like the noises in the street. My father and I walk down a shady path. I do not talk. I listen. I listen to my father's shoes on the path. They make a soft sound. They go chuff, 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 chuff. I listen to the birds in the park. I listen to the pigeons and the ducks. The pigeons fly down to meet us. They want us to feed them. The pigeons puff up their feathers. They take little tiny steps. They come toward us, nodding their heads. They say, prue, prue, prue. At the pond, the ducks are waiting. They want us to feed them too. The small ducks swim up close. They turn their heads on one side and look up at us. The small ducks waggle their tails and quack. They say, gink, gink, wonk, wonk, gink, gink. The big ducks are not so brave. They stay back and swim around in circles. The big ducks look at us, but they do not come close by. The big ducks say, gink, gink, gink. Sometimes I hear a woodpecker in the park. The woodpecker sounds a little like a hammer. He goes rat tat 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 tat. In the park, I hear crickets in the grass. The crickets go creet, creet, creet. I hear the wind in the leaves. It whispers, shh. I hear bees in the flowers. Bzzz. It is fun to go on a listening walk. You do not have to go far. You can walk around the block and listen. You can walk around your yard and listen. You do not even have to take a walk to hear sounds. There are sounds everywhere, all the time. All you have to do is keep still and listen to them. Right now, there are sounds you can hear. When you finish this page, close the book and listen. How many sounds can you hear right now? Close your book and count them.
Spirit, by the Spirit, with the Spirit giving power, I will find true harmony. Hello, friends. It's the time in our service when we share our joys and sorrows and our concerns and gratitudes, and we hold them together in beloved community. Many of you have written comments below in the comment stream. Of course, many of them are expressing grief and sorrow and solidarity with Linda and Leslie at the terrible loss of John. And some of you have submitted your concerns and gratitudes in the on the form ahead of time, so I'll read those as well. Susan Moss writes, last Sunday's virtual service was very comforting. Our thoughts go out to those who are ill and or maybe scared. Sarah and Rebecca Landor and family write that they would like to thank UCE for the love and support for their mother, Raisa Landor. We feel so blessed to have such a caring community to support us during this time. Melanie Kitchener writes about the concern about the Chicago public schools being closed and hoping for certainty and knowing of a way ahead. Sarah Vander Wicken writes, I am more than grateful for so many things, including the fact that I am retired and get a deposit from Social Security and a pension every month. But I am more than furious that so many people are so vulnerable in this land of outrageous plenty. We need to find ways to use this horrible experience to forge a new way of doing things. Marianne and Dave Griebler write, our daughter Kate, who lives in an apartment here in Evanston, was self-quarantined by her doctor because she was displaying COVID-19 symptoms, although not enough to qualify for a test. We are so grateful that while Kate is tired and occasionally achy, she is doing fine and doesn't seem to be developing more serious symptoms. And we were very grateful for the good medical care she received. From Lynn, I am grateful to have access to technology. I'm grateful that many people can work from home. I'm grateful for online education. I'm concerned for those that do not have access. As everything moves online, I wonder how many people without computers or smartphones are shut off from the world. I pray they are getting the love and support they need. I pray for the people who are terrified. I pray that they find the peace in their heart. I pray for the people that are worried about the future. I pray that they find peace. Leanne and Linda and Lucinda Lauder, deep gratitude to our ministers and staff for creating this moving and meaningful weekly time for us to join together. We may be without income, but we are not without friends. Love to all. From Katie, concerns, I was so sad to read that John LaPlante passed away. My heart hurts for him and his family. I'm also fighting off waves of fear each day as is my husband. We are doing our best to stay calm and focus on our family, but these are scary times. There are so many what ifs. And a gratitude. I'm thankful that as a teacher, I'm still getting paid even though I'm working from home. I'm thankful too that this extra time at home is a special treat to my 4-year-old who only sees this as my big spring break. She's so happy to have all the members of the family home together. Jim and Linda Clark, as is everyone else, we are grieving John LaPlante's profound loss. Our thoughts and prayers are with Linda and the family. Liz and Mike Goodwin, during this very difficult time, it still warms my soul to see the faith of the flowers I planted last fall to emerge, to greet the sun's shine today. Hope really does spring eternal. Blessings and peace to everyone. You are in our thoughts. Andy Fisher, so sad to hear about John LaPlante. He was a member of UC the whole 30 years that I have been. He's a great musician and friend. And again, in the comments section below, there are many, many expressions of sorrow and loss about John, and a few other concerns to read aloud. Thank you, Jean Durkin, for bringing a virtual rose to John's chair at church. Bear with me just a moment. Many sorrows. Grateful to be, Amy Grabowski, grateful to be here with all of you this morning. Barbara Butts, so sad at the loss of John, for Linda and for all of us whom he ministered at UCE. A concern from Karen Courtwright and Steve Courtwright. Oh, and it's Kathy Talmadge's birthday. Happy birthday, Kathy Talmadge. That's a good joy. Many people joining us from far away who have been a part of our community. CJ Levins and Virginia Pitts, I see you. And sorry. Kristen Lems, a sorrow. John and Linda came to my mother's memorial service last summer and cried and hugged me. I remember John singing with his guitar. John was a great spirit who will inspire us forever. A concern from Steve Courtwright and from Karen Courtwright, concern for the whole world and how we will heal. My broken heart for losing John makes me realize that hearts around the world are broken. Amy Staton, grateful to be a part of this loving community. From Maxine Lappin, a joy to connect with Eileen, Kathy, Karen, and Gregory today, and a sorrowful joy for the way this horrible time has increased my appreciation for connection with loved ones. Martha Holman, my nephew tested negative, grateful prayers. Ellie Fedderson, holding Jean Butson in my thoughts as she is recovering from some severe stomach problems. And I think those are the end of the ones that have been written, but please do read those comments. You can read them yourself also in the section below. I'm afraid we don't have time to read all of them out loud, but know that we are holding all of these prayers and sorrows and concerns and griefs together as a congregation and as a community. And I invite you to join me now in the spirit of prayer and meditation as we hold these together. Spirit of life, source of love, hold us in our grief. Remind us of your presence at this time when so much is unknown and we are frightened. Through our sorrow and loss, help us to keep reaching for life with gratitude. Guide us to find our better selves in each moment, to recognize the goodness in one another's faces. Help us to be gentle with ourselves as we struggle to find some peace and ease. We are navigating a new and frightening reality. Show us again and again the power of compassion to transform our struggles into new wisdom and deeper connection. We pray for those who have and will lose loved ones. May we know comfort and the courage to carry on. We pray for all who are sick. May all of our suffering be eased. We pray for all who are unable to work and face even greater financial hardship. May we each be free from endless struggle without opportunity. We pray for all who feel lonely and lost in this time of isolation. May we all know more fully how truly connected we are. May we find each other in new ways, and in the process, may we understand ourselves as more resilient than we might have believed, and more determined to hold precious life's beauty, wonder, and joy. Amen. Please join in singing this meditative response. There's a river flowing in my soul, and know that this is a recording of your voices sung in our sanctuary. The reading this morning was sent to me this week. It is titled An Imagined Letter from COVID-19 to Humans by Kristen Flins. Stop. Just stop. It is no longer a request. It is a mandate. We will help you. We will bring the supersonic high-speed merry-go-round to a halt. We will stop the planes, the trains, the schools, the malls, the meetings, the frenetic, furied rush of illusions and obligations that keep you from hearing our single and shared beating heart, the way we breathe together in unison. Our obligation is to each other, as it has always been, even though you have forgotten. We will interrupt this broadcast, the endless cacophonous broadcast of divisions and distractions, to bring you this long breaking news. We are not well. None of us. All of us are suffering. Last year, the firestorms that scorched the lungs of the earth did not give you pause, nor the typhoons in Africa, China, Japan, nor the fevered climates in Japan and India. You have not been listening. It is hard to listen when you are so busy all the time, hustling to uphold the comforts and conveniences that scaffold your lives. But the foundation is giving way. buckling under the weight of your needs and desires. We will help you. We will bring the firestorms to your body. We will bring the fever to your body. We will bring the burning, searing, and flooding to your lungs that you might hear. We are not well. Despite what you might think or feel, we are not the enemy. We are messenger. We are ally. We are a balancing force. We are asking you to stop, to be still, to listen, to move beyond your individual concerns and consider the concerns of all, to be with your ignorance, to find your humility, to relinquish your thinking minds and travel deep into the mind of the heart, to look up into the sky, streaked with fewer planes, and see it, to notice its condition, clear, smoky, smoggy, rainy. How much do you need it to be healthy so that you may also be healthy? To look at a tree and see it, to notice its condition. How does its health contribute to the health of the sky, to the air you need to be healthy? To visit a river and see it, to notice its condition, clear, clean, murky, polluted. How much do you need it to be healthy so that you may also be healthy? How does its health contribute to the health of the tree, who contributes to the health of the sky so that you may also be healthy? Many are afraid now. Do not demonize your fear, and also do not let it rule you. Instead, let it speak to you in your stillness. Listen for its wisdom. What might it be telling you about what is at work, at issue, at risk, beyond the threads of personal inconvenience and illness? As the health of a tree, a river, the sky tells you about the quality of your own health, what might the quality of your health tell you about the health of the rivers, the trees, the sky, and all of us who share this planet with you? Stop. Notice if you are resisting. Notice what you are resisting. Ask why. Stop. Just stop. Be still. Listen. Ask us what we might teach you about illness and healing, about what might be required so that all may be well. We will help you if you listen. Let us hold a few moments of silence as we contemplate the meaning of these words and hold all of our sorrow and our worry and our fear in our hearts. Let us be quiet together. Beloveds, we come together today across the distances of space to be reminded of our unity and to tap into it as best we can in this time of overwhelming sadness and anxiety, this time of isolation and fear. My heart is heavy as I imagine yours is. I'm filled with sorrow over the loss of one so precious to us. I hold, as I believe you do, fear and worry for the well-being of us all. This virus puts us to the test in profound ways. It's hard to imagine a time when the illusion of our separateness has felt more real or more devastating. It's hard to imagine a time when we would need each other more. Our covenant, the promise we make to one another about how we will be together, is put to the test now in extraordinary ways. Yet love remains the spirit of this church, and I can feel that through the airwaves of Zoom and YouTube, on the phone, and through emails and texts. I hope you can feel it too. John LaPlante loved this covenant. I know that because when we adopted a longer, more detailed form at our annual meeting 9 years ago, our covenant of engagement, John questioned why we needed such detail when the words written by James Vila Blake in 1894 so beautifully capture our promises to one another. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. And we are challenged to serve one another in the community because we can't be in one another's presence. The one vehicle for showing our caring, for serving the community, food, is now unsafe to share in ways that we have shared it before. Yet we and so many others are thinking in new and creative ways about how to enact service as the law of this church. We are thinking about how to provide meals to those most in need in a safer way for all. We are mindful of how the most vulnerable among us will suffer more in this time. In our urgency to respond, I invite us to stop and think and consider all the possibilities. I invite us all to think and talk together to co-create the most compassionate and responsible way to serve. Our covenant calls us to dwell together in peace, though physically apart. Can we fill the space between us with even more tenderness? How are you creating peace inside yourself and inside your home? I admit to you, friends, I am struggling to find and create peace. There is a constant low-level buzz in the pit of my stomach, and I have to remind myself to breathe. I'm irritable and I'm cranky and sad, and I'm trying to be gentle with myself, and I hope that you are too. We have to remember to put our own air masks on first. Our covenant calls us to seek the truth in love, and we are all seeking the truth about this virus. We are looking for certainty and information wherever we can find it. I encourage you to take the news in small sips and then give yourself some respite, some time to breathe. We all want to be informed and to help one another in whatever ways we can. In all of this, we have to stop. Stop and breathe. And breathe again. Breathe with the fear and anxiety we are feeling. I know we want to fix this now. We want some sense of resolution, some picture of how this will calm down and go back to what we know. That normalcy bias that Karen talked about last week. I need to tell you that we will never be the same. And that was true before this pandemic. The only constant is change, and life is continually unfolding. We know this. It's just that it feels more real and painful right now. And so, what might this transformation in our world lead us to understand differently? We've already experienced tremendous hardship, and there will be more. Loss of life, illness, economic downturn, and there is much we don't know and can't know. We also don't know what might emerge. Look outside your window. The tulips and the daffodils are still blooming. People are walking their dogs. The birds are still gathering around the feeders in gardens. Parents are flying kites with their children. Please take whatever chance you have to get outside, especially when the sun is out. Take a walk, sit in the yard, listen to the earth breathing and hear your own breathing in rhythm with the earth. Hold that felt sense of interconnection a little closer. Remember that we are a part of this natural world. We are one with nature. We don't know what this global hard stop will do. The young people tried to create a global climate strike. This is not how we wanted it to happen, but we find ourselves in an unintended global climate strike. What might bloom in the places where we stop? I pray for those who are not able to stop. The healthcare workers, grocery and drugstore employees, and the first responders. May they be safe. May they be well. May they know peace. May we hold them in care and gratitude now and when we are beyond the current pandemic. Dear ones, remember that you are not alone. We sit together in the fear, separate and united. Look for the helpers all around, finding creative ways to care for one another. We breathe together through the sadness and worry. We have an opportunity in this stopped time. In our devastation, in every moment, and through every crisis, there is always an opportunity to respond with love or in fear. Acknowledge the fear and do not let it rule you. Let love rule you. May our faith in each other, in the value of life, and the beauty and terror of the natural world, of which we are all a part, be cherished. May we all be well, and may we continue to know that we are not alone.
I said, Julian, you are holy, you are holding my hand. And Julian, you are holy, you are holding my hand. She said, all will be well, all will be well, all manner of things will be well. I said, Julian, do you not know about sorrow? And Julian, do you not know about pain? And I said, Julian, do you not know about hunger? And Julian, do you not know about cruelty. I said, Julian, it's too much. It brought me to my knees. But she said, all will be well. All will be well. All manner of things will be well. And she said, no one does not know about sorrow, and no one does not know about pain. She said, no one does not know about hunger, and no one does not know about shame. And she said, all will be well, all will be well, all manner of things will be well. And she said, no one does not know about loneliness, and no one does not know about disease. And she said, no one does not know about cruelty. She said, I know it's too much. It brought me to my knees, where I heard, all will be well, all will be well, all manner of things will be well. I said, Julian, you are holy, you are holding my hand. And Julian, you are holy, you are holding my hand. She said, all will be well, all will be well, all manner of things will be well. And she said, baby girl, do you not know about tenderness? She said, baby girl, do you not know about friends? And she said, baby girl, do you not know about the spirit? She said, baby girl, do you not know it's only love that never ends? And so all will be well, all will be well, all manner of things will be well. And so all will be well, all will be well, all manner of things will be well.
Friends, as we gather, we remind ourselves that we are a vital part, and our connection is a vital part of our experience of this world. Because of this, because we continue to need one another, and because we continue to need the blessings of this community, we take this time to invite you to text or give your shared offering. You'll see on the screen a way to be able to do that. And we invite you to do that now, or you can send a check to the community, just write offering in the memo field, or you can go to our website and click on that to give. We share our offering today, our non-specified offering, with the UU Advocacy Network of Illinois, a group that is building always power among UU congregations in Illinois, and putting our values into meaning now more than ever, concretely and far-reaching in ways that allow us to act towards social justice. You can read more about them on the web. Please give as generously as you are able, and may what you give bring you joy.
We close with these words, with the extinguishing of our chalice, with these words from David Wagoner. Stand still. The trees ahead and bushes beside you are not lost. Wherever you are is called here, and you must treat it as a powerful stranger, must ask permission to know it and be known. The forest breathes. Listen. It answers, I have made this place around you. If you leave it, you may come back again, saying, here. No two trees are the same to the raven. No two branches are the same to the wren. If what a tree or a bush does is lost on you, you are surely lost. Stand still. The forest knows where you are. You must let it find you.
Friends, it is a joy and a balm to my soul to be with you. And one of the unexpected delights of this experience is that we can all comment and talk throughout the service to each other. I think that is so wonderful. And the service will be visible again, and I think the comments are as well, for a time. As we leave this time and space together, may we be well. May all beings be well. May our world be made more whole through the nurturing of our spirits in the quiet and the stillness. Carry the love and courage of this community with you throughout the week until we are together again. Go in love and with peace and seeing beauty, my friends. We'll be together soon. Amen.